This is Dr. Tamia Guest with Rejuvenating Chiropractic.
This is Nara Reed with Modified Nutrition Health Coach.
This is Karen Marcel with June Street Barbershop.
This is Tiffany Marcel with Marcel Luxury Realty, and you're listening to Boss Talk Radio.
Knowledge, integrity, security, service.
Get behind the shield. What's going on, Boss Talk family? Welcome to the Boss Term of the Week. I have an exciting show coming up at the top of the hour. We have special guest Sharita M. Humphreys, financial educator. And so, of course, the holiday and the inauguration kind of threw the week off or whatever, because you normally would have gotten this on Wednesday. But we wanted to make sure we brought this to you. And I wanted to take the opportunity to use the Boss Term of the Week to condition your mental, if you would, for today's show. So what we want to do is kind of affect your paradigm a little bit. And today's Boss Term of the Week is none other than excuse, also pronounced excuse. In the verb, it means to attempt to lessen the blame attaching to a fault or offense, seek to defend or justify. As a noun, it's a reason or explanation put forward to defend or justify a fault or offense. So the reason we chose this particular term for the week is because today we're going to be talking about the very, very sensitive topic of money. And over the last day or so, I put a topic out there regarding the perspective on the increase of minimum wage. And I was amazed at some of the answers. Some were to be expected, but I found that there was a lot of perspective from business owners, and I know such a wide array of business owners, ranging from self-employed to, extremely successful. And their takes on it were very interesting, but I noticed a little thing in there where it wasn't being communicated. So I think everybody agrees that there should probably be an increase in minimum wage. I think everybody will kind of cop to that. But what that should be is the part that most people can't agree on. There's a proposal for $15 an hour, and for some that says, hey, that's reasonable. And these are business owners. They're saying, hey, that's reasonable. But since it's not all at one time, it's gradual or whatever, we can endure that or whatever. And it brought to mind another conversation about values, which we'll talk about in 5 Minutes of Fire. But as it related to, you're thinking probably, how does this relate to excuse, George, or being excused? What I found is that everybody gets emotional about this topic about minimum wage or whatever, but no matter where you're a pro or con, or how you think it'll affect the economy, or what you think it'll do to inflation prices, whatever the case may be, I have my perspective. I can argue that till the end of time. I notice that people that have different perspectives of me than myself often have very, very valid points or whatever to why it should be increased and what it should be increased to. One person even said $25 an hour. And what I noticed is that most of the professionals that run in my circles that have payroll, they were like, well, it really wouldn't affect me because the people that I already pay at least $15 or more to anyway. But then there became the question, because I think when it comes to whether or not it should be basically doubled at this point, there's this validity to the people that are in between what it is and what it's set to become, and all points, in between. So my question was, do the people that make more than minimum wage, but less than what the new minimum wage would be, should they summarily have increases of the same percentages as, minimum wage goes up? And that's coming from this thing about fair and equitable. There seems to be a conversation going on about fair and equitable or whatever, but then it comes down to this, which is what really is the value that, minimum wage workers bring to the workspace. Some people made the argument about whether or not increasing their income would increase spending and increase jobs and so forth and so on. But there's another argument to be made there. There's some validity to that, kind of, but, I don't see the value going any further or whatever. And so we'll talk about value in 5 minutes of fire on different levels. So it goes back to the excuse. And when I talk about the excuse or being excused, what I'm asking is this. If you are making minimum wage, or as we talked about in the motivation piece this week, Boss Motivation, if you are not living the life that you want to live, now progress is a process, so you may be on the way to that life, but for those who don't even see that as being possible, what's really your excuse, and why should you be excused from having to put in the same effort and hard work as everybody else? Now, how you do hard work is a personal choice. I had someone make a comment regarding the amount of student debt they had and things of that nature and the salary that they were making. And I thought to myself, well, that's really a condemnation on the education system in America and the cost of higher education, not to mention the workforce. But at the end of all of that, nobody came to you and said, hey, would you like to go to school here and pay this much for it to work in this field? It was a personal choice. So you have to kind of own that, So what is your excuse? Why are you making it? Why do you believe you should be excused or whatever from creating the life that you want to live? We're going to go into that more in the psychology of the excuses that are made, because I hear everything ranging from systemic racism, opportunities, things of this nature. And it's not to invalidate it that any of those things exist, but I think that it's only fair to say, and I believe that the pandemic has displayed some of this, the combination, and we'll just surmise it to say technology, but the combination of internet and social media, e-commerce, etc., these things have largely evened the playing field as it relates to opportunity. I'm not suggesting that somebody, that made $20,000 last year is going to make $1 million this year by being an internet sensation, although it has happened. But the thing is that you have to kind of adapt, take advantage of new technology. I mean, hey, look at myself. I'm the most, anti-technical, digidum person that there is or whatever, but I saw a need to be filled in the space that I'm in and made some adjustments. I'm not the greatest, when it comes to it, because I don't do all the post edits and stuff. I have some colleagues that put stuff out there and it's like, wow, you did that. Then I find out, well, that 20-30 minute episode that they brought you, they invested 6 to 8 hours in the post-production and another 3 hours into research and type outs and this and that. Yeah, I don't have time for all of that. Ultimately they hope to monetize those things, but I have a more urgent value placed on my time. So I could say that's making an excuse or lessening the blame attached to making an investment in all the graphic wonders of Boss Talk Radio, and I shouldn't be excused from contrasting comparison to somebody who's, earning 6 figures on YouTube or whatever, but that's not my bread and butter. It just simply isn't, nor is it my interest or my passion. What is my passion is the internal works of business and bringing entrepreneurs to you across every industry to let you know that while business isn't easy, it's definitely rewarding. While there are some challenges, there are definitely some celebrations. And we want to show you both sides on Boss Talk Radio. So that's what we are here to do. You guys stay tuned. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have a very special guest who's been on MSN, CNBC, Forbes, Breakfast Club a number of times, really making an impact in the finance industry. And also want to let you guys know that we are now taking new tax clients. So if you are in need of having some assistance with your taxes, you can go to the link at the bottom of the screen, www.elite8financial.com/appointments, or you can give us a call at 866-2ELITE8. That's 866-235-4838. We'll see you guys at the top of the hour. Actually, coming up next is 5 Minutes of Fire.